Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Rowe. We're looking in Geometry Part A. This is Lesson 6, and we're going to look today at how to construct a line parallel to a given line through a given point. So we'll have the postulate listed in the lesson that goes along with this. I'm going to show you all three. I'm going to show you two different methods to do this. This is going to be method 1. And method 1 is using a transversal. And for this method, I'm going to show you all three tools. I'm going to show you how to use both of the safety compasses we've been looking at in the lesson and the regular standard compass. So those are the three I'm going to show you. Remember, you don't have to watch the entire video, just watch the part pertaining to the tool that you actually have. So let's take a look at how we're going to construct this parallel line through this given line through this point. So what I'm going to do is I am going to construct a transversal. Now, what's a transversal? A transversal is a line that crosses two or more other lines. So I'm not going to be too particular about what it is. I'm just going to construct that transversal. So there is my transversal. And so here is my important point that I'm going to need in just a second. And now, using the rules that we learned about parallel lines in a previous lesson, what we're going to do basically is we're going to do an angle copy. So we're going to copy this angle onto this point, thus creating a ray that we can use to make a parallel line. So here's my compass. I'm going to start off with the standard compass. Remember, we're going to call this our anchor. And I'm just going to put my anchor on the point that we just made by intersecting those lines. And then I'm going to draw an arc that goes across both of those rays, just like that. And I'm going to not change anything and do the same thing across the transversal that we just made, making sure that I'm getting all the way across. Okay, so now, remember, if we're copying an angle, we're going to adjust our compass to open up the width of this arc right here, where the 2 points intersect. So here and here. And so I'm going to adjust my compass to match that. And remember, we always want to draw an arc just to make sure we've got a good distance. That looks pretty good. And so now I'm going to come over to where I'm making my copy. I'm going to put a point, or I'm going to put my anchor where that line, that arc crosses the angle. And then I'm going to draw my arc right there. And I slipped, so let me draw it again. If you slip, just go back and do it again. But that point right there, where these two arcs intersect, using that and this point should construct a parallel line. So let's see how well we did here. So let's put our ruler, our straight edge. Make our construction. And so what we should have is a set of parallel lines. Now with my camera, it may not be able to see that these are parallel lines. So we're going to check some of the rules that we learned about parallel lines on a transversal. So these angles should be congruent because they're corresponding angles. So I've got my protractor. So let's take a look at what that angle is. Looks like that first angle is about 52 degrees. So that means this angle should be 52 degrees. This angle should be 52 degrees here. I'm going to measure this angle because I'm having a little bit of trouble. I don't have enough room to measure that angle. So I'm going to measure this angle right here and see if we got a 52 degree angle. So I'm going to turn my paper upside down and we're going to check, see how close we are. And we've got about a 52.5 degree angle, so I'm pretty close. It's probably an error with me drawing my line. Looks like I might have been off just by a little bit, but that's how you construct a parallel line through a given point using a compass and a straight edge. So let's take a look at our other two. So we're going to move on to this safety compass. And remember, if you're using this compass, you don't even need a straight edge because it acts as a straight edge. So I'm going to draw my transversal just like I did in the previous problem. So there is my transversal. And again, I'm going to adjust my compass using the adjustment right here. I want to be able to make an arc. I'm probably going to use the inside hole this time because it's such a small area. So let me make sure I've got a point right there that I can look at. So I got my crosshair right there on that point. I'm going to lock my compass. And I'm going to make an arc. And I'm going to do the same thing from the given point that we were looking at. So there is my point. Using the same hole, make that arc. Okay, now we're going to adjust the compass to match these two intersections. And again, I'm going to have to use the inner hole to get that intersection in there. And about right there looks good. So remember, we're going to draw an arc just to make sure we're pretty good. And it looks like we're just a little bit off on our arc, so I'm going to open it back up and adjust it one more time. And that's a little better arc, so I'm going to come back over to this intersection right here. I'm going to anchor on that point. Draw my arc with the inner circle. Now what I should have right here going right through those points, I should end up with a parallel line to that given line. Again, we want to check. So I'm going to use my compass to check some angles. Looks like this angle is about 48 degrees. So that means this angle here should be pretty close to 48 degrees as well. When you look, that point's right at about 48 degrees. So it looks like I did a better job with the safety compass than I did with my standard compass. So that's the same construction. And then finally, if you happen to have this safety compass, process is pretty similar. So again, I don't have to have a ruler for this because this acts as a straight edge. So I'm going to draw my transversal. So there's my transversal. Remember, I'm going to draw an arc. Now, on this compass, in addition to the holes all the way around the outside. You have some holes on the inside that you could also use. I don't suggest you using those. I'm going to pick this arc right here. And make sure you remember which one you're using. The arrow is pointing right at it. So I'm going to slide my compass, making sure that the point that I had is in that hole. I'm going to put my arrow in that same, or my pencil in that same hole and make another arc. And then I want to do my best to get an intersection with these two arcs. So I'm going to look, make sure that that point's in that hole, and I want to match up one side or the other with that other intersection. If you look at this one, that hole doesn't quite cut it, so I'm going to have to slide to the other side. That one looks pretty good, so that innermost and that's pretty good. So I'm going to come back over to this one and make the same mark from that point. So we got our innermost hole right there, so there's our mark. And again, we're going right through those two intersections, and hopefully we're getting parallel lines. And again, I want to check my corresponding angles if I can, or I'm going to check my alternate interiors if I can't. So if I look at my first angle, that angle is about 58 degrees, in between 57 and 58 degrees. So that means this angle here should be the same thing. Let's see if I can extend this line a little bit. And that looks like pretty good little estimate. I think I'm more at 57 than 58, but that's a pretty good job for using this safety compass. But that's how you construct a line parallel to another line through a given point. Now this is running a little bit long, so I'm just going to save the one method for this lesson. Look for another video with the second method. So I hope this helps you construct a line parallel to a given line through a given point. If you need help with the concept, please let me know in a teacher message or make an appointment for a help session.